Honorable Member of Parliament present here, Excellency, the Ambassador of the US to Rwanda, Excellency, Ambassador of Israel to Kigali, Excellencies, Ambassadors representing the countries present here, distinguished organizers of this important international conference, and distinguished participants. It is a privilege to join you this morning for the opening of this international conference on the theme Incitement and Dehumanization as a precursor to genocide and the crimes against humanity. This is an international event marking the 25th anniversary of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda and the 70th anniversary of the liberation of the Nazi death camp Auschwitz, signaling the final chapter of the Holocaust. I would like to thank the organizers. I would like also to thank national and international distinguished scholars and researchers who made the time to be with us, and I would like to welcome them to. As it is rightly pointed out by the organizers of this important and timely conference, I quote, "Intolerance, hatred, and discrimination are rising all around the world. Violence against minorities, anti-Semitic acts, and genocide denial are reaching an alarming stage and constitute a threat to stability and peace. Mobilizing people to tackle these issues is of the utmost importance," end of quote. As we reflect on these crucial issues, one most important question here today that begs our full attention is what causes genocide and how can it be prevented? There are various reasons why genocide may occur, and it is often a combination of circumstances that lead to genocide. Prominent scholars, such as Professor Gregory Stanton, have found that genocide is a process that develops in 8 stages, namely classification, symbolization, dehumanization, organization, polarization, preparation, extermination, and denial. Allow me to reflect on 3 important aspects in line with the theme of this conference that are, first, incitement to commit genocide, second, dehumanization, and thirdly, impunity. With regard to incitement, Article 3C of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Genocide declares that direct and public incitement to commit genocide is a crime. The incitement provision of the Genocide Convention took on new importance in the wake of the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994. In fact, in 1997, the United Nations Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, ICTR, indicted 3 Rwandans for incitement to genocide. One was Hassan Ngeze, who founded, published, and edited Kangura, that in the month preceding the genocide published vitriolic articles dehumanizing the Tutsi as inyenzi, cockroaches. Also inducted were Mr. Ferdinand Nahimana and Mr. Jean Bosco Barayagwiza, who were founders of Radio Télévision de Mille Collines, RTLM, that indirectly and directly called for murder. In December 2003, the ICTR convinced Ngeze, Nahimana, and Barayagwiza for direct and public incitement to genocide. Regarding the humanization, again, as Professor Gregory Stanton pointed out, in this situation, I quote, one group denies the humanity of the other groups. Members of it are equated with animals, vermin, insect, or disease. The humanization overcomes the normal human reversion against murder. At this stage, hate propaganda in print, on hate radios, is used to vilify the victim groups, end of quote. During the Holocaust, the Nazis referred to Jews as rats. And during the genocide against the Tutsi, Hutu involved in genocide, such as the editors of Kangura and the LTLM mentioned before, called the Tutsi cockroaches. Another important factor that creates a conducive environment for the perpetrators to commit crimes is the existence of a culture of impunity. The concept of impunity, that is, the failure to expose a human rights violation and to hold the perpetrators accountable, took a prominent stage when analyzing the causes of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Many scholars have well established that the impunity of numerous crimes against Tutsi, criminal acts often sponsored by respective government after independence, sowed the seeds of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. In the aftermath of the genocide against the Tutsi and thereafter, the government of Rwanda has constantly set up legal and institutional mechanisms to hold the perpetrators of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi accountable for crimes of genocide, but also for other crimes against humanity committed. But it is evident that ending impunity for genocide perpetrators and their accomplices is still a major challenge for international law, as we all know. And one important contemporary challenge is genocide denial with its different facets. Genocide denial is generally understood as an attempt to deny or minimize judgment of the scale and severity of an incident of genocide. As one scholar pointed out, I quote, in the case of genocide denial, the perpetrator group and its ideological supporters wish to eliminate the culpability of the genocidal act. An important aspect of the phenomenon of genocide denial is the desire to eliminate responsibility. In the case of genocide denial operates on the assumption that we may not know the whole truth about a past historical event. Production, distribution, and circulation of conflicted narratives is one of the most favored techniques of genocide denial. Therefore, casting doubts about how the event has occurred is one of the most effective ways to implement genocide denial. Systematically silencing the existence of an intended wrongful act is the continuation of the genocidal act because it aggravates the harm. So denial not only refers to the act as replacing truth, but also the will to create another regime of truth, end of quote. Fighting against genocide denial, as we can agree, is a difficult task. It is a task that calls for designing adequate legal mechanisms to deal with the matter, but also it requires a collaboration. It requires cooperation of the international community because, as we know, genocide deniers often reside in foreign countries from where they continue to propagate their genocidal ideology. In fact, in a report released by the Senate of Rwanda last October 2019 on strategies to counter different forms of denial and minimizing of genocide against the Tutsi, it was found that genocide denial of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and those trivializing it have adopted the use of modern technology, including social media and main media outlets, to propagate the ideas outside the country. Although Rwanda has continuously updated its legal and institutional system in order to efficiently prosecute and punish perpetrators of genocide, genocide denial, and revisionism, it is well recognized that fighting such crimes requires the collaboration and the support of the international community as a whole. Rwanda is very grateful for the support of various countries who have trusted its judicial system and extradited or deported suspected genocide perpetrators for trial. The trial process is ongoing before the Specialized Chamber on International Crimes of the High Court, and the latter is committed to uphold high-level professionalism and follow international legal standards in providing fair trial to those suspects, but also to other suspected perpetrators of genocide and other crimes against humanity. I can't stress enough that it is an obligation incumbent upon us all to prevent genocide. As the former Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, pointed out, preventing genocide is a collective obligation. It involves all of us, individuals, communities, states, and the international community as a whole. So in order to prevent genocide from happening again, we need, of course, to address its root causes. That is hatred, racism, discrimination, dehumanization, and denial. And to deter people from committing such crimes, perpetrators need to be brought to justice, and holding them accountable contributes to prevention efforts. Let me once again thank you all for making time to reflect on these very important issues that contribute to build a peaceful and secure world and strengthen peaceful coexistence among people being here and all over the world. Let us all resolve to do all it takes to prevent genocide from happening in any part of the world. Thank you very much for your attention.